I have trained hundreds of women build a body and lifestyle where they no longer have to diet. 99% of them have failed multiple diets, and at least 30% of them never saw visible changes even after trying personal training in the gym. So in this video, I'll expose the top 10 beliefs and perspectives that was keeping them stuck, so you don't have to make the same mistake they did, or one of these 10 might be the very thing that is keeping you stuck from achieving your dream body. Without wasting no time, let's jump into the first one. It is always as simple as this. What you focus gets improved. When you get started, of course you have this big goal of maybe losing weight, fitting back into the clothes that's been collecting dust in the wardrobe for months, or reclaiming your energy so you don't have to stop every 5 minutes when you climb the stairs, or maybe even building muscle. But regardless of the goal, just 3 to 4 months in, a lot of people are sad and angry because they're at the same place where they got started, or might even be worse. At the same time, when they look back into their daily actions, it's obvious that why they didn't achieve the transformation that they needed. Think about it. Every runner at the start of the race have the same goal, but the one who wins is the ones who take action. And at the same time, I understand if it's confusing. Everybody dreams so much about the big goal, but not the steps to get there. This is how you can bulletproof your daily actions, so achieving the results is not even a question. Instead of having this big goal which you have no idea to achieve, reverse engineer what it looks like on a daily basis and just focus on one day at a time. You can't control what happened yesterday. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, and the only one thing which you can control is today. So figure out what your day-to-day would look like and allocate all your resources to make sure you're winning every single day. Now that you understand, let me explain how this process actually works. Here you have 4 different categories: big goal, targets, actions, and reminders. Suppose your big goal is losing around 25 plus pounds, and the first step is breaking it down into weekly and monthly targets. For example, your weekly target would be losing at least 1 pound per week, and your monthly target would be losing around 4 to 5 pounds a month. And to hit your monthly targets, you need to get clear on your daily action, and that would look something like consuming X amount of calories, doing X amount of workouts, takes in X amount of hours of sleep. Once you have your daily actions figured out, literally, forget about all the steps above and just focus on checking the boxes daily and winning the day. And to make sure you're winning the day and following through on your commitments, you need to set reminders, because what is out of sight is out of mind. All these daily steps should be documented and displayed in all the places that you're most likely to get reminded. It's either as a sticky note on your mirror or even plugged it into your calendar. But this is what happens if you don't have the reminders in place. If you don't already know, there are going to be days where you won't be able to finish all the daily actions. And the worst thing you can do is letting go of that failure streak for a little too long. The more you miss, the harder it will be for you to get back on track. Now, once you get reminded, you can reduce the time it takes for you to get back on track, making it even easy for you to follow through on your commitment. And that's exactly, you win the day. And if you win every single day, you win the week. And if you win every single week, you win the month. And at the end, you'll achieve that one big goal that you set for yourself. As much as I want to stress, you need to allocate all your resources to get crystal clear on your daily actions. But there is this one thing that has a high influence on the likelihood of you achieving your dream body. The reason why 99% of people won't even get closer to their dream body is not because there is something wrong with them. It is just because whatever routine they're choosing was never ideal for their goals and lifestyle to begin with. The reason why I'm stressing it so much throughout my entire career of running the top training department and through all of my videos is that you would never rise to the level of your goals. You will always fall back to the level of your systems. Usually, when you want a workout routine, you look at your favorite influencer online with no kids, no life responsibilities, and do the exact same thing they're doing at the moment. Yes, it'll be super easy for you to take a random workout routine from the internet and stick to it, hoping that it works. But if that was a reality, every single person who steps their foot inside the gym would be in shape, and there won't be no 90% cancellation rate in the commercial gyms within the first 3 months. As I said, there will be days where you won't feel like doing the work, and on top of that, if your routine feels like your second full-time job, good luck sticking to that. The more your routine forces you to change from your current lifestyle, the harder it will be to stick to it. And if you think about it, all the diets and training programs you tried in the past were totally opposite of how you were living your life. Am I right or am I right? That is exactly why you're stuck at the same place regardless of trying everything under the sun. So next time, before you choose a workout routine, ask yourself this. Can you do it for the rest of your life? And yes, you heard it right. Rest of your life. Because it's a race without a finish line. Because it's not like you get fit and in one pleasant morning you wake up and just quit. So, if that's not the case, you might as well choose something you enjoy and something that doesn't make you feel suffocated. Look at the days you need to commit and look at the style of diet you're committing to and ask yourself if it's a right fit. And that brings me to my next point. Your ability to delay gratification is actually a function of intelligence. Like, think about it. Your whole life you've been trained to get addicted to instant gratification. Taking a test in school and you get the results right after a few days. Posting on social media where you get instant validation right from the start. But this is not how fitness works, at least if you want a transformation that lasts a lifetime. Here was the catch. A transformation that lasts a lifetime. Yes, in this day and age, you can find a lot of shortcuts to lose weight, like keto, GLP-1s like semaglutide or Ozempic, or even fat sculpting. But with all those, you're still struggling with the one most important thing, which is your behaviors. Let me make it even simple for you. If your current reality is a byproduct of your behaviors in the past, how can you expect to change your current reality if you can't change your behaviors? Regardless of whether you got the results from a quick shortcut, if you go back to your old behaviors, it is obvious that you will end up exactly where you got started. Losing weight is super easy, but the thing that takes time is making behavior modifications, cultivating values, and developing habits that will serve you for the rest of your life. And once you get that right, the results come as a byproduct. Rather than putting this immense pressure on yourself, the more you're willing to wait to see the fruits of your labor, the better. Because if you rush weight loss, you risk losing muscle tissue, which will eventually ruin your metabolism. And as a result of that, during mid-deficit, you will stop losing weight and you get stuck. And if you rush building muscle, you risk gaining extra body fat. During the process, if you gain a bit body fat, it will force you to switch back to weight loss mode instead of focusing on building maximum muscle tissue in one single stretch. Having patience is the easiest way to reach your goals and to avoid major consequences. And if you want to be patient, you gotta be willing to be bad at something to get good at it later. The fact that most people won't realize is whatever the goal you're trying to achieve will always be outside your comfort zone. And if it wasn't, you would have already achieved it. When you try something new or push outside your comfort zone, for example, maybe when you're trying a new diet or trying new movement patterns, you will feel like an idiot. And not just that, you might even feel like smashing your head against the wall. But I'm here to tell you that there is nothing wrong with you. Every single person who have achieved the body of their dreams had the same feeling when they got started. If you're not willing to stomach that feeling and continue to put in the work, you'll be forever be stuck in the same place where you got started. And let me even tell you this, you might even fail. And if you're never willing to fail, you're never gonna win. But it's always a lesson, and after you fail, the likelihood of you achieving the body of your dreams goes up, not down. Now, since you know what's wrong, the second try takes twice the emotional effort, but half the actual effort, and you would be able to avoid the same mistakes in the near future. Reframe that feeling of uncertainty as a cost of greatness. But it for sure gets easier when you have certainty, meaning when you have someone who walked the same path or someone with a proven track record showing you all the nuances and helping you get to your goals. Then you can take calculated moves, minimize the chance of failure or the feeling of not knowing what you're doing. And that's exactly what I would do to get to my goals faster. Ask help from someone who's already been where you want to be, or someone with a proven track record, whether that's a coach or a friend. And if it is your friend, don't do what they do. Do what it took them to get there. And if you ask me, what do I mean by that? If you look at someone, the thing they're doing right now for sure won't be the thing that got them here. So you can't expect to do their level 10 workouts and graduate from your level 1. It's like you're trying to run a marathon when you don't even know how to jog. But I understand, most of you might think if you do the level 10, like high level workouts, you can get to your goals faster. But that is not the reality. So instead, find what they did in their level 1, so eventually you can reach level 10 just like them. The worst thing you can do is to compare your level 1 to their level 10, and that will lead to false expectations, and that will keep you unhappy. Which brings me to my next point. Your own expectations are the very thing that is keeping you unhappy. So let me tell you this one thing you probably should have understood if you failed multiple diets in the past. But if you haven't learned that yet, I'm here to share that wisdom. It is always harder, takes longer, and costs more than you think it will. It's not because there is something wrong with you or the reality is bad. Because it makes sense. It's harder, takes longer, and costs more. Because if it didn't, everyone would have it. And if everyone would have it, you'd have no value when you achieve it. When you have expectations that it's easy, or you fell for some random internet marketing like get fit quick 90-day scheme, it is evident that you'll be disappointed. Not to make you feel better, but let me tell you a little story. There was a time where one of our clients was super upset. Inside our coaching program, we do body transformation in phases. To make it even simple, it's designed in a way where once you finish all the phases, you are priming your body to work for you and not against you. So in that way, you can keep your hard-earned results with simple nutritional habits and minimal workouts. Ultimately, the phase 4, being the building phase, is where you build muscle to secure the weight which you lost in the first place. And if you ask me how, when you build muscle, you are raising your basal metabolic rate. So in that way, your body is forced to burn more calories since muscle is calorically expensive. That being said, there was once a client who came in to first lose 20 pounds, and after successfully losing the weight, she built around 10 to 12 pounds of lean muscle tissue. She was looking good, feeling amazing, and better than she ever felt. As you may already know, it is a physical impossibility for a human to gain muscle without accruing a bit body fat, and that is part of the process. Because of that, we planned a mini deficit to trim off her body fat and to reveal the shape and the hard-earned muscle. Here is what may be surprising for you. This time, in the deficit phase, she lost weight faster without doing much hard work, and most importantly, while eating twice the food she ate before. I know, wild, but this is where it gets crazy. When we shared this news in our community, one of the clients the next day was a little upset. Not because she wasn't seeing the results. She was actually killing it inside the program. But it was just because she wasn't seeing the results fast enough like the client who did it faster the second time. But the fact she don't realize is, just like everybody else, when this client got started, she lost weight in a normal pace. But she had patience and she put the time into first losing fat and later building muscle. And as a result of this hard work, now fat loss is not even a problem anymore because her body is doing the work for her. You only see people when they finish the race, but not the work it took them to run the race. Just like the client who got upset, if you have false expectations, that is you just pushing yourself down into the rabbit hole of comparison, and that will eventually lead to unhappiness. That brings me to my next point. Everything has its own price. It's either you pay it or you don't. There is nothing in between. If you want to feel better, blame others, but if you want to get better, blame yourself. What I'm about to say might ruffle some feathers, but here we go. Worked so many hours, but your health took a hit? Well, don't blame it on the job. Blame it on yourself for not getting your priorities straight. Ended up wasting money on Uber Eats because you didn't spare at least 3 hours out of your week to meal prep? Well, don't blame it on time. Blame it on yourself. You will have a million reasons why you're not happy with your current reality, and the worst thing you can do is to not take ownership and blame someone or something else just for you to feel better. What's even worse is that people putting labels on themselves like I'm not consistent, I'm an emotional eater, only to justify why they are not where they want to be. Regardless of whatever label you put on yourself or the excuses you have, being in shape has a price. It's either you pay it or you don't. That is the reality of this world. And this applies even if you have the world's best coach. There is nothing magical that a coach can do to transform you if you're not ready to point the finger at yourself and take ownership of your own current reality. You can blame things or do something about it. And again, this is not mansplaining. I'm just here to help. Since I'm on a streak, let me even tell you this. I think it's stupid to wait for the perfect time. What I'm about to say will apply to you even if you go into the gym but didn't see the results you want, and still you do the same thing again and again and again, expecting a different outcome. You know who you are. And my question is, why would you wait to get better? Like, think about it. If you won a lottery, why would you wait to cash it out? You would cash it in as fast as humanly possible, and that lottery ticket is your dream body. And you need that more than you need anything. It is human nature to think the grass is greener on the other side, so you end up making these excuses where I can do it when everything is calm and quiet, when the kids go back to school, when I get the right job, and so much more along those lines, just to delay you getting to your dream body. But what they don't realize is, when you act only when it's convenient, what happens when it gets hard? Would you stop and give up on your goals? If that's not the case, wouldn't it be ideal for you to start when it's hard, so when it gets easy, you wouldn't have to worry about a thing? I don't know about you, but I really wish my life went exactly like how I planned. There is always something going on and breaking all my plans. And for me, that is interesting because I'm willing to do the work regardless of the external circumstance. And all the women you see on the screen who achieved jaw-dropping transformation had the same exact mentality. There is nothing special about me or the woman you saw on the screen. We just had the courage to keep going. So let me give you another example if it feels super uncomfortable for you to get started when it's hard. Once you finally get to the body of your dreams, the hard work it took you to get there will actually compress in your mind. And all you have is left is the thing that you accomplished, not the hard work it took you to get there. The sooner you start, the sooner you act. And the sooner you act, the sooner you get the results. If you don't know how you got it, you can never sustain it. You would get much better results if you stop looking for the next shortcut and instead focused on taking the time to learn the process. Because at the end of the day, if you don't know the process, whatever results you got, you won't be able to sustain it. Let me give you this analogy to hit it home. When you follow a random plan and get some results, it's like you're swimming on a shallow water. Without fully learning the process, once you head to the deep waters, you will drown. And now relate this into fitness. What got you unstuck this time won't be the thing that's going to get you unstuck the next time. And not only that, what if I told you, if you actually took the time to learn the skill of flexible dieting, learn the skill of exercise execution, learn the skill of following through on your commitments, you can not only transform but also keep that transformation forever. Because once you learn all the process by yourself, you can keep getting better than how you were before without depending on anyone. And that's the exact thing we say to our clients when they join our transformation program. Our ultimate goal is to help you become self-sufficient, because anybody can give you orders and give you a transformation. But as coaches, we would love to teach you the fundamentals, so this can be the last program you will ever need. Here's some good news for you. Nothing hard lasts forever. As I said in this video, once you learn the right skills, understand the process, and with the right set of expectations, you will never have to struggle again. And more than the transformation, now you have an undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. While going through the transformation, you will learn more about yourself, you will be more likely to rise back from failure, you will be more likely to take risks, you will have gotten stronger mentally, physically, and emotionally, you will have taught yourself it's not that bad, and at the end of the day, you will be proud of who you are, proud of the way you showed up, proud of the way you kept your promises, and proud of the legacy you've built. As you've been hearing in this video, this is the harsh reality of fitness that no one talks about. So you can take all the information I've covered in this video and implement it by yourself. Or if you want our help or want us to customize everything according to your goals and your lifestyle to a point where all you have to do is follow the plan and get to the body of your dreams, click the button below, fill out a super short application, and let's have a conversation about how I can help you the best. Regardless, I just want to see you win, and that is how I build my legacy.